Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Sklim.
And we're
Two kids on a couch.
Sklim, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, on today's episode, we're talking about the revival of plays. These are plays that have been on Broadway in past years, and they're now coming back with a new cast, a new vision, and possibly, for some, new results. You ready to get going?
Let's get going.
What's the first show?
Our first show is The Cripple of Inishmaan.
So, Joe, what do you think makes this show so popular to today's audiences?
Well, in as much as all of the components are really coming together for this show, obviously the big moneymaker for them is Mr. Daniel Radcliffe. He's short. He's like the Charlie Brown of Ireland.
So much so.
Yet a good lad, Charlie Brown! It sounds like the show left a lot to be desired. It was very bland and it was very kind of confusing. The Cripple of Inishmaan was nominated for 6 Tony Awards this season. Best Revival of a Play.
Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Play for Sarah Green.
Best Lighting Design of a Play.
Best Scenic Design of a Play.
Best Direction of a Play.
And Best Sound Design of a Play. I don't think it'll win Best Revival.
I don't think it'll win Best Lighting Design because of a show that we're going to talk about later, which I'm actually really excited about.
It was also nominated for Best Set Design, but we've already talked about the sets this year. It better go to Act 1.
In terms of Best Direction, I don't believe it will win. I don't think the director's going to receive high marks for this.
And revivals are really where the directors can shine.
Right.
I mean, what makes or breaks a revival is the director. So,
Yes.
And there have been some really good ones this year.
Oh, yes.
I actually don't think it'll win sound design because, as referenced in the previous blog, there's a play coming up that we're going to talk about that has some sound design.
Sarah Green plays the love interest, and we've heard has a very feisty kick to her performance.
Very fiery.
It sounds like she's done a great job, but I don't know if she's going to win, to be perfectly honest. Sorry, Sarah. Oh, that should be a song. Sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry, I was a jerk. That could be like a theme song.
The next show nominated for Best Revival of a Play is A Raisin in the Sun. This show earned a lot of fame for its big stars, including Denzel Washington and Anika Noni Rose. Nani? Noni?
Noonie. Lady.
Nani? Nani.
Heidi.
Now, while I heard good things about this play, and of course if it was nominated for Best Revival, then it must have been a good production, there was nothing about it that really struck me as particularly exciting. I heard it was a good ensemble piece. The family, like you believed them as a family.
A Raisin in the Sun earned 5 Tony nominations this year. Best Revival of a Play.
Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role in a Play for LaTanya Richardson Jackson.
Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Play for Sophia Okonedo.
Nope. Okonedo.
Okonedo.
I'm saying Okonedo.
Okonedo. Okonedo.
Can we Google it? What Another Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Play for Anika Noni Rose.
And also Best Direction of a Play.
It could win Best Direction. I've heard good things about this direction. I don't think it's a lock by any standard, but I think it's a contender. The ladies in this show did a good job.
They did do a good job.
This is, I mean, to get 3 performing nominations in a cast that only had
5 people.
there's only in the family. There's only a couple people.
Yes.
There were some other roles. I'm sure they all did an excellent job. I heard good things from all
So
of them.
good.
Can't say that I expect any of them to win. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really get this play. I'd be a bit disappointed if it won Best Revival, but people seem to like it, so it's very possible it'll win.
Raisin in the Sun! The next show nominated for Best Revival of a Play is The Glass Menagerie.
I'm excited about this one.
Oh my gosh, me too.
It is closed, and closed shows usually don't do very well.
Unless your name is The Glass Menagerie, because it got 7 nominations this year. Now, the biggest thing about this play, every single review I've read has said, I hated reading this play, but then I saw these people do it, and now I love it so much. And this is a stellar cast. Celia Keenan-Bolger, Zachary Quinto.
Sherry Jones, Brian J. Smith,
Oof.
all of them just stellar. And those are the only 4 in the show, and 3 of them were nominated, and the 4th
Should have been
maybe
nominated.
should have been. They did some really interesting things with staging this show. A lot of simplicity and kind of fantasy to it. The stage is pretty bare. There's a table. I think there's a couch.
A sofa.
And that's about it. I think there might be a pool of water, like where the orchestra pit ought to be. What I heard about this show for the most part is they brought it back to its roots.
Yes.
They didn't try to add any gimmick. They didn't try to overplay it. They just made it
real
in what it was.
The Glass Menagerie earned 7 nominations this year. Best Revival of a Play.
Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role in a Play for Sherry Jones.
Best Performance by an Actor in a Featured Role in a Play for Brian J. Smith.
Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Play for Celia Keenan Bolger.
Best Direction of a Play.
Best Scenic Design of a Play.
And Best Lighting Design of a Play. I think all 3 actors nominated have a very decent shot at winning their respective Tonys.
I agree.
Not a shoo-in, but especially for Miss Jones, who I've heard especially good things about, I think she's very likely to win the Tony.
I love Celia, and I hope she wins.
I want her to win.
But this is her 3rd nomination, which she should be very proud of.
Yes.
And every year I'm like, she should win, and then she doesn't. Yeah, so I hope she wins, but...
The lighting design actually has a decent shot.
I agree.
Because, going through the glass and the water, it probably looks cool. We don't know. Critics just don't talk about lighting design.
Yeah.
But there definitely was a lot of room for creativity, and I think it's likely that they seized that opportunity.
I also think it'll win Best Direction. As we talked about before, direction is possibly the most crucial element in a revival.
Yes.
And the fact that John Tiffany, who won for Once 2 years ago, and which was brilliantly directed.
Yes.
The fact that he could take a show that nobody liked and make it as good or better than the original production while making it different, that's exactly what a director's supposed to do.
Absolutely.
So he is, I'd say by far my favorite to win Best Director of a Play. I think the scenic design was the perfect choice, but it better go to Act 1. Brian J. Smith actually might win. I heard he did a really good job, and I think he's got a shot. So, Glass Menagerie is probably my favorite play of the year, actually, with Act 1.
And it would not shock me if it won Best Revival.
I expect it to. Go Glass Menagerie. The final nominee for Best Revival of a Play is William Shakespeare's Twelfth Night.
I am probably most excited about this show.
It's a fun show.
This show, they were very, very careful to not revive it at all from its original. And when I say original, I mean gaslighting, and there are no women in this cast, only men in dresses, and it seems to be uproariously funny,
Hilarious.
And the cast works brilliantly together, and the audience loves it, and everyone loves it, and going back to the true Shakespearean tradition of a man playing a woman who plays a woman who has to pretend to be a man, and in all of the complexities and the love triangles and the hectagons and the octagons, the octotetrahedrons, and...
I love octodecahedrons.
I was right about that.
Octodecahedrons of love. Octodecahedrons of love. Not like those squares of hate. Twelfth Night earned 7 nominations, including Best Revival of a Play,
Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role in a Play for Samuel Bennett,
Best Performance by an Actor in a Featured Role in a Play for Paul Chahidi,
Best Performance by an Actor in a Featured Role in a Play for Stephen Fry,
and Best Performance by an Actor in a Featured Role in a Play for Mark Rylance,
Best Direction of a Play,
and Best Costume Design of a Play. So, elephant in the room here, pretty much the entire cast was nominated for Best Featured Actor in a Play. That tells you something right there.
A lot of these guys, I know especially Stephen Fry, these are like trained Shakespearean actors. Like
They pulled over some...
Royal Shakespeare Company.
Yeah, they pulled out the big guns on this one. I'm just gonna say it. I want Mark Rylance to win every chance he gets. 1, because he is a gifted actor.
And 2, because he is a gifted award speech giver.
Probably the best ever. I don't know enough about the individual actor's performance to know if they're gonna win supporting actors.
But we know each of them deserves to, and if any of them did, we would be happy.
Yeah.
Best Costume Design, I think it should win, because these guys are in full-out Shakespearean costume.
Including Shakespearean drag.
And we're talking like whalebone corsets and like plastered lace. This is legitimate 15th century costuming.
As to whether or not it should win Best Direction. The director was brilliant by stepping back and letting the show speak for itself. I still think Glass Menagerie will win Best Direction.
Yes, but this guy...
Probably runner-up.
12th Night. This brings us to our lightning round.
Dun dun dun!
A lady date at Emerson's Bar and Grill.
This show is about jazz singer Billie Holiday, as played by Audra McDonald. It's kind of a concert kind of thing, where she sits in the bar and actually is very inclusive, the audience all around her, and she just sings some of her songs that kind of show about things about her life. It's nominated for Best Sound Design. I think it will win that. It's also nominated for Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role in a Play for Audra McDonald. While I think she did a great job, I don't think she's going to win. I didn't like the show so much, but I heard good things about it. Richard III.
Richard III is the second half of the Shakespearean Twelfth Night 2 one-act shows. The show has received a lot of praise for its Shakespearean roots, and everyone really liked it, and it's really funny, with lots of audience inclusion. We gotta love that. It was only nominated for one award, and that's Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role for Mark Rylance. I think he should win. The Machinal!
This is a show about a woman who's trapped in her boring lifestyle in the 20s with a marriage with no life in it, so she kills her husband. It's a lot about feeling trapped and knowing when freedom is okay and when you can do what's wrong for what you think is right for yourself. I heard good things about the performances, but the show was kind of dead and it didn't really fit the times. What I did hear good things about was the creative team. It was nominated for Best Costumes, Best Lighting, Best Scenic Design, and Best Sound Design. I think it probably won't win Best Costumes because they couldn't be that important. I don't think it'll win Best Lighting either because we think Glass Menagerie has that. I don't think it'll win Best Sound Design because we think Lady Day has that. Best Scenic Design could actually give back one a run for its money. It also spins, and I've been told that it shows the development of main woman's life. However, Act 1 is better. No Man's Land. And Waiting for Godot.
No Man's Land and Waiting for Godot is the hit Broadway show this season, which starred two British stars, Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart. While both actors, they said, did an absolutely phenomenal job, they said in the directorial section it was lacking. Because these shows are supposed to be incredibly deep, they were kept too shallow. Both shows depict two old men kind of reliving their lives and kind of discussing about philosophies and kind of showing the world about the hollowness with which we converse. Unfortunately, neither of these shows were nominated for anything this year, which a lot of people were really upset about. Of Mice and Men.
This classic American story follows two friends, George and Lenny, as they travel across America to find their piece of farmland. Although John Steinbeck's novel was wonderfully successful and became an American classic, this play doesn't bring anything fun to the role. Everything I heard says that the actors play cliches and not the humans behind them, so it's hard to get very excited. The saddest part of the show is honestly when the dog dies, because the dog shows more human emotion than any of the humans. This play was nominated for 2 nominations. Best Lighting Design, which I don't think it's going to win because of Glass Menagerie, and Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role in a Play for Chris O'Dowd, also not going to win. Sorry. Betrayal.
Betrayal stars James Bond star Daniel Craig and also his real-life wife, Rachel Weisz. Unfortunately, this show is really kind of terrible. It seems as though everything was done with distaste, and the actors and the actors don't work well together, and it seems kind of like a cheap shot. And really, no one likes this show. It's a tangled weave of lies, deception, affairs, all that bad stuff. No one liked it. It wasn't nominated for anything, and really, no one was surprised by that. Romeo and Juliet.
This retelling of Shakespeare's classic love story actually did pretty terribly. Unfortunately, they kept the original Shakespeare intact while trying to make it cool and hip, wearing hoodies and driving motorcycles, and people said it was really hard to follow and didn't make a lot of sense. It did have a lot of big stars, including Tony nominees Chuck Cooper, Condola Rashad, and Brent Carver. It also included Hollywood star Orlando Bloom. However, even though all these actors did a good job, their star presence just wasn't enough to carry the show out of obscurity, so it really wasn't very popular at all. It closed a while ago and was not nominated for any Tony Awards, as people kind of expected and as it deserved. Macbeth.
Macbeth, from what critics say, is really a mix of steampunk and Tim Burton. It's clearly dominated by the role of the three witches, and watching the show is like playing a satanic Where's Waldo. Ethan Hawke apparently acted his title role of Macbeth as if he were an emotional teenager huffing glue. No one really cared for the show, and it was really difficult to follow, and no one quite liked the way Shakespeare was translated. No one liked it, so it wasn't nominated for anything. People expected that. No one cared. The Winslow Boy.
This classic play starring Roger Reeves follows a posh British family who lived a normal life. Then, when the youngest son is accused of stealing a very small amount of money, about 5 shillings, they spend all their money in getting lawyers to clear their family name. It's all about fighting for what is right and fighting for justice. I heard excellent things about the show. Apparently everybody liked it, but unfortunately it closed in December. As we all know, nominators do not remember closed shows very often. Shows nominated for absolutely nothing. Well, there you have it. That's the nominees for Best Revival of a Play for this season.
Thanks again for tuning in to Two Kids on a Couch. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share.
And watch.
That too.
We will now leave you with our ceremonious theme song.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry I was a jerk.
End of vlog.